It's Thursday, means time for me to start streaming again. And today we're going to do PowerWash Simulator 2, in particular the Star Wars DLC. Right. Yeah, right. Hi, hello, hi. Welcome. I'll get back to Red Dead Redemption 2 at some point, but not today. Almost felt like it today, but not quite. We get to that at some point too. Star Wars. You're the best cleaning droid in the Outer Rim. Well, I'll be the judge of that. We've had another sandstorm. Bad one. I knew it was coming when all the fly horn took off. As you'll see, the homestead is encrusted in mud and sand. I need you to clear the lot. Can do. I can do that. Also know that there's another achievement. It's like shoot Luke's ship from the power droid. I'm assuming it's the power droid in question. AG6. Am I like waiting for him to come by, or I'm gonna look into that later. Alright, let's see. Okay, alright. I'd say let's go. Oh, this is a sandstorm. What happened here? Good lord. Anyway. Let's get washing. Hey, yeah, something done already. This all should be easy. It's just dirt and mud. It shouldn't require anything special. But we'll see soon enough. I love that ding ding ding. Ah, yeah. It's still a little bit surprising that a game like PowerWash Simulator is just. It's still a little surprising that it's so popular. So many people love it. But there is something probably just. It is something just so satisfying about washing stuff with a power washer. I've never used an actual power washer in real life, but it seems like it would be very satisfying. You'd be like, ooh, I gotta clean. Sorry, let me close and program those. Messing with various graphics, like that lovely no AI slop badge I got at the top of everything now. Yes, new profile picture. The person who I had commissioned to it finally, well, they had it done. I think it was before I was streaming last week, but then I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was like YouTube could do the profile picture, but not the banner. And then Twitch, no, it was like Twitch could do the profile picture, but the banner just was throwing an error. Meanwhile, on YouTube, the banner uploaded fine, but then the profile picture's file size was too big. So I had to have them go and try to resolve that. And they finally got it resolved, and now I have the same profile picture and banner on both Twitch and on YouTube. That isn't the stuff I dueled in MS Paint with a mouse. I think all this probably have been many years ago now. Honestly, probably back when I was first trying to stream again in 2016. I think all those images are that old. I think the newest thing I've drawn, besides the no AI slop badge at the top right corner of everything now, I think the latest thing I drew is probably the getting started soon screen, I think. So, And that person who drew all the banner and the profile picture, they're also going to be editing a video about thoughts on Gears of War E-Day, but that'll be probably out sometime next week. I would love for it to come out this week, but it's going to be put up. Whatever. It's not like if it was like predictions for a show or something, I'd probably just edit it myself. That way I could just like wait as long as I need to and get it done very last minute, and not have to have somebody else have to go bend over backwards to do it. Plus, I need to figure out what my editing style that I'd ask them to do is going to be. So, because it's probably a thing like, well, I can just do it myself, but it would have been done in the same, I kind of know what I'm doing way, but I'll leave it to an expert. What's going on back over there? I feel like it's like, I need to like, I need to like at a really specific angle to get back there. It's gonna be annoying if I can't get it. I'm kind of not able to get to it. See if I can get back to that later. I'll get to it later, maybe. Exactly, there's an object in the way, so I'll get the rest of it randomly cleaned. Some really odd angles. Sorry, I'm now starting to like register some of the sound effects of the droid that you are technically, because you're not your power washer self here in the galaxy far, far away. You're a droid. Not the droids the Empire's looking for, thankfully. It's clean. I'm trying to think about what the next video I'd want to be, as I think I had thrown out the idea with my editor of like, discussing the frankly kind of silly counter-programming WWE is doing. Just my various thoughts on it. Clean it all, clean it all. Gotta clean it all up by shooting lots of water at it. So we can get back there. It's gonna be so really freaking annoying if that's like the last thing I need to clean. I can't freaking get to it. See if I can get to it later. Whatever, man. Whatever. Wash it all up real good. Won't take this blue milk getting everything to do with the sandstorm you were talking about, as I said a minute ago. But getting clean. Close, clean, ever clean, something like that, yeah. Yeah. Clean counters, clean everything up. It's so dirty, so filthy, oh my god. Why didn't you just close the door when the sandstorm's coming in, oh my god. Go to bed, we'll clean this good, cause I is so good and I love us. Like some it's gonna be just a little annoying because they're in kind of awkward angles. I only got matching buttons from time to time. Real good. We do some more washing. Oh, yeah. I might do some further editing to that AI slop badge at the top right corner, because I want it to be see-through, to not be in the way, but I might need to add at least a translucent background to it, make it stand out a little bit better sometimes. I want to see if I can decide on a unifying color, because I had a feeling that if the text was white it might disappear in some places, but also black can disappear in some places. I think, because I have this on every screen, the getting started screen, the be right back screen, and all of the other screens, like the full screen and the two variations of the gameplay where the camera's in different positions. On the one for that's the be right back screen, I made the text gray, that way it could stand out whenever the background's black. They need to make it gray everywhere. I don't know, it probably has to need to like add a translucent background, that way it stands out everywhere. There is no way that that is. Why that strip of dirt's the only thing that's there. But there's at such a weird angle, I can't get back there. Oh, well, I'm trying to collapse it. Whatever. Okay, there we go. Got the other side of that shelf, and that counts as cleaning it all. Good. What's gonna be a chance in hell is gonna be able to get back there. That's my main one. Okay. Won't be surprised if there's like something still in that kitchen not clean, but That'll come at the end. It's interesting that the sound when the power washer fires up sounds like it's kind of a modified version of like a blaster rifle going off. Oh, and Lars, you didn't happen to understand the binary language of moisture vapors, do you? You don't happen to understand the binary language of moisture vapors, vaporators, do you? What about bokeh? Do you speak that? Anything? I speak Galactic Basic pretty good. I speak Galactic Basic gooder than some people. I'll take that as a no. The search continues, I guess. I mean, that one language, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. So I probably could theoretically talk in binary, but I probably have to find a binary converter to convert ones and zeros altogether. It's probably a bit more complicated than I'd recognize. Of course, me recognizing that might be hard. Might indicate that I understand how complicated it is. So yeah, it is entirely possible to write words in ones and zeros and have them translated, but there's probably there's definitely a bit of a trick to it. That way it's not just random ones and zeros, and so that you can actually truly translate it. Now I think we're at this is going to be, I'm just going to come off with the white nozzle. White nozzle. Alright. Okay. Counter room. Wow. That's pretty. That's not there. That's actually designed. Okay, cool. Making sure. Alrighty. I'm just looking at the general architecture of all of this. And the design and all of that. This is a desert planet, trying to think about just like how they've built it to try to accommodate the sandstorms and all of that. In theory, I guess it's blow right over it. Also, I feel like it could still like blow into here. So, what do I know? Question I would have is how precisely did they get in here? This probably isn't meant to be built to be actually truly functional, I guess. But right, it's like you would like get in over. I think you can see the top of the structure. You actually would enter over there, and then if you're underground, then you could like pop out here, I suppose. Maybe. I don't know. This may be built to be like truly the most accurate for how it might actually work and look in the universe, but it should look regardless. Tatooine, desert planet with dual suns to make it burn. I think they actually did find a planet in real life that does orbit 2 suns, actually. Don't remember what they called it, nor do I remember what they would speculate the planet would be like. Because you would think with double suns that the planet would be hot. But I'd imagine it probably wouldn't be cold unless you just had an atmosphere that just didn't allow in much heat or allowed too much heat to escape. Why isn't the chat showing up on screen? What happened? Did I inadvertently... What happened? What did happen? It should be visible. It should be there. That's a good question. Why isn't chat showing up? It shouldn't. Shouldn't be a problem of... Because it should be appearing on the same side as the no AI slot badge is. Huh. Do I need to worry about this right now? Probably not necessarily, but I'm going to worry about this right now because it should be working. Please stand by. Your call is very important to us. Yeah, if it had been the past like 10 or so minutes, that wouldn't be appearing at all. Is the problem. Send a test message. I'm not seeing it show up. Why that no want to work? This ain't wanting to. So the URL is still the same. Let's see. Okay, so what's going on with the clear background apparently. Okay. I will need to figure that out later. If I can get that roughly positioned where I would like. There. Yeah, I'll figure out why the clear Twitch background's not wanting to work later on. There. Yeah. Yeah, I need to figure out that because that black background I feel like shows up a little too much on gameplay, which is why I had a clear background. Something's happened with that clear background apparently where I'm gonna really like it's just not showing up at all now. Some setting got changed to where it's like it doesn't show up like period. Yeah, that's a yeah. Yeah, I'll have to play around with that off stream. Or maybe I could know the leveling, try to play with it still on stream at the end, just to debug it on stream, just for the giggles. I want to dig into it a little bit more, see if maybe there's some transparency setting I have to change. I don't know why it suddenly broke, and only for one, not the other, but that's gonna bug me. Very translucent. Something like that goes in the shit, yeah. So it shows up on that one. It's not showing up on that one. It's marked as visible, but it's only showing up on that one. Huh. Yeah, I really gotta dig into it. So, that's just not making sense. I think really the only difference between the black text box you're seeing there and the clear one is just that the clear one is said to have like a completely transparent background. If I need to change it to be like, like that black background, but like super faded, then I'll do that. But that's kind of what it seemed like it did. Yeah, it's weird. Again, don't know why it's doing that. I'll figure it out. I have not touched any of these overlays in forever. I think I was messing with them here and there when I was first starting to stream again, because I was wanting to. Since, like, for example, right now I am not in the affiliate program, so I can't be accepting, like, there's no point for me to track how many subs I have, because I can't get paid for them. So I was playing around with that and probably tweaked a few looks here or there, but like I don't think I touched the chat text boxes at all when I started streaming again 6 months ago. Just left them as is. Maybe I poked them a little bit, but that was it. But essentially, like, since I last streamed, I haven't touched them, is the big thing. That's probably the more important bit. So again, I don't know why that one's not wanting to show up. And the clear one, I had changed the text color to be black to see if that's the problem. No, it's just not showing up, apparently, for some reason. I guess if I had to, if there's like something that's like completely bugged with that overlay on Stream Elements, I can just nuke it and start over again. It's not the end of the world. Of course, I might want to create the new one and then nuke the clear background one, just to be sure. Of course, I can also just copy and paste the black background one. Because I was doing the chat text box that appears now for, you've probably seen, like, when it's just like me full screen to make sure that the chat's always readable there. Anyway, that's something I need to try to, like, I probably need to do much more, or in some case, any pre-stream checks. Because always when I have, like, the Elgato not capturing audio or the microphone not working is when I think I should pre-check these ahead of time. And I kind of did check the audio stuff, but yeah, I just need to start checking everything, I guess. Okay. And again, like, thank you for pointing that out. Because I want chat on screen. All the cool streamers seem to have their chat on screen. Unless there's a reason not to. But I think every streamer that I've seen, they have chat on screen. Some even have it to be where it's not just this text box like this, but it's like every message its own little box or whatever. Maybe I'll evolve to that at some point, but for now I'm just going to just showing it. You're not like, be like, oh my god, it looks awful. No, I can't. I can't, brother, I can't. It looks too bad. You're probably like, ooh, neat. My messages are on the screen. It's like playing programming Minesweeper. Do one thing, something else explodes. That's programming sometimes. Yeah. There's the funny joke image I've seen. 99 little bugs in the code. 99 bugs in the code. Take one down. Patch around. 128 little bugs in the code. That's how it can feel like, especially even if you're careful. But if you're not careful, you do what I call like henpecking at it, where you're just like, let me change this, let me change this, let me change this, this. You're going to cause new problems. Because you'll change the number of arguments in a method, you'll take out a check, you'll add one check too many, you'll have it check stuff in the wrong order, and it can be a time. All right, now I'm looking at stream elements where you edit these elements together, and in stream elements, it's showing it like in real time. And on the site, it's showing that the clear overlay should work. Just not once it's there. I'm pretty sure that both of these are, again, the exact same. It's just one has a black background, the other has a white background. They're also different sizes, which that's weird. Why did I do that? Maybe that was a gameplay versus... I don't know if that's what it is. Like, the clear one's technically smaller because it has to compete with like other stuff on the screen, like the game's UI. Meanwhile, the black background there can be a lot bigger because it's usually just like the full screen of just like my face and everything in the background. So just keep poking programming code. What can possibly go wrong? Oh, a lot. A lot can go wrong. That's why it's definitely a textbook thing of know when to step away for 5 minutes. Just like, okay, let me stop staring at this because I'm just gonna break like everything. And try to keep backups of your code when you can. Using a version control system like Git. Git, G-I-T, Git seems to be the... It feels like it's the most popular one that people use. Because people have like a GitHub, and pretty sure every job I've worked at, they use Git for their version control. So, I don't know what Owen. Make sure you do a good job. That sand gets everywhere when you let it. Yeah, I noticed. What is that achievement? You ever download anything from GitHub? Well, work stuff probably for job. I think I've tried. I think there was something I tried to download from GitHub, or something that I did download from GitHub for. I forgot what it was I was trying to download one time. Or it's something that, like, I thought about downloading. It was on GitHub. I'm like, let me look into that, and I never did. Homestead Jobs, probably Luke's D16 Sky out while standing on the EG6 powered droid. I can't remember what it was. There was something I was gonna try to download, I think. I feel like there was something for... I can't remember what it was. I feel like maybe it was something gaming related, or maybe it was stream related, or just PC related. I forgot what it was. I can't remember what it was I was trying to download offline one time. That it wasn't for my job. I know that. It wasn't like work. I just don't remember what it was. I don't think it was a game. But maybe it was something that made like gaming easier, maybe, or... Sorry, I'm still like hung up on like, I need to stand here. I need to hit a skyhopper. I don't know if it's like gonna like fly by at some point or what, but there ain't nowhere else to be shooting a skyhopper aside from this one I just saw, but there's no way I can get it because it's just like, it's at an angle. There's no way I can get it. Anywho. Oh, I did look up, what was that game you talked about? Star Trek Elite Force. It is sold on GOG.com, so it's like $10. So I will be very tempted at some point, and probably will, honestly, at some point, get, what is it again? Star Trek Elite Force? Star Trek Elite Force. I'll get that and at least download it. And maybe even stream it. No promises, but we'll see at some point. It's not gonna fly away. Okay. But that achievement of like hitting the skyhopper from that power droid might be one I have to like look up like, what are you talking about? I feel like if they meant, though, I feel like they meant that when they would have said in the storage unit. But again, there's no way to hit it from that droid. It's literally impossible. I probably need to look at GOG.com for a lot more games I might want to play. There's gonna be many of them that aren't on Steam for whatever good reason there is for them not to be on Steam. Of course, I'd have to. No, I'd say, well, I got to figure out how to like capture the gameplay of that. No, I don't. I just treat the gaming PC like I treat this Xbox. Like, oh, it's just another input for an HDMI. I just capture the whole screen at that point, literally. I'm just capturing the whole output. Which means I can't be looking at questionable material on that big PC while I'm on it. But I'm not going to be looking at questionable material on stream anyway. So, yeah, I'll also just keep recommending games for me to look at and play and all that, and I'll see if I can keep a good running list of stuff. So now I'm just looking at like the AI Slop badge and that just shouldn't be overlapping like that. I don't want to hide it. Freaking know it. Let's put that right there. That'll do. There. Now things aren't overlapping. Look weird. So right now I do have the problem of it's covering up. Technically part of the UI is like, hey, you got this done, you got this done, got this done. But it's also kind of a whatever thing. I'll deal. This is still, even after 6 months of me being back at trying to do this pretty much not every day, but every week. Without fail, I still gotta do trial and error and find out what works. I want to find out what I want to do. Try not to have the microphone hidden to the red. As long as you can hear me. Because right now I kept talking, you see it like, even now it's probably still going to a bit of the red. I could try to, I could probably just drop that down, because I'm just trying not to like blot anyone's eardrums or anything. But what I really need is a slightly better microphone than this with a pop filter on it. But that's a when I got money thing. Which I know I own math, I own counting of stuff and all of that. I'm going to be looking at, I think right now the earliest I can look at actually like bringing home a paycheck is going to be like if I interviewed for and got a job, accepted a job next week. I'm looking at, assuming I started 2 weeks after getting the job, I'd be getting paid late September, early October. So, lead solid game. Most Voyager bank has to do voice work. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's always good when you've got a game like that and you've got the actual cast to do it. And the thing, it always does seem like a lot of the, well, probably thinking of like the next generation DS9 Voyager era of people, and probably others too. They're always willing to go and do more with Star Trek. They're always willing to do conventions, and I know that there's guys who played Paris and Kim in a Voyager. They've started a podcast. They started a podcast. I think like they're going back like watching all the episodes of Voyager in order. You know, it's just Star Trek's just an amazing, 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 you know, universe and property. So and they're always just really awesome. And they're like, yeah, sure, I'll gladly do it. Yeah, they love it. They love doing it. They love the fans. And mostly they seem like they're all truly awesome people too. So what is you dirt? Yeah, I think I saw on grog.com, Elite Force was given, I think it was a 4.6 out of 5, I think was the average rating. So it seems like people really do like it. And unsurprising, the graphic looked like a game from 2000. But, I mean, it's a game from 2000. What do you expect? Is this where I need to clean? This is where I need to clean. Get the doorway clean. Try to clean the doorway. Get the doorway clean. Get the doorway clean. Come on, doorway. You know you want to clean. There we go. Doorway clean. Wash away the sand and the mud, 'cause it's grody. And it's Anakin Skywalker said episode 2, it scores and gets everywhere. And as someone who's gotten sand in his shoe at the beach, that's true. Into the sandbox when I was a kid. Sand is annoying to get places. This is in your shoes. Imagine if you get somewhere else, like your swimming trunk. Bad. Like, you don't feel good. I mean, it's like, of course, I could, like, still, like, beach sand can stick to your feet. You have to wipe them off, or you'll see at some beaches that on view, it looks like a shower where you can just, like, stand under and just, you know, wash off the salt water, wash off the sand and all that. Assuming that's all you're doing. That's all I would be doing. Just a quick rinse to make sure I got all the sand and stuff off me. It's been far too long since I've been to the beach. I randomly drove to the beach. I think it was like around the 4th of July weekend. I don't think it was quite 4th of July weekend, but it was like it would have been a long weekend for me. I drove off to, I think it was like Wrightsville Beach, I think, or not right, was it Wrightsville Beach? I think I was driving towards there. What beach I ended up at? But just like, I was just driving around one day and just, so I just want to go to the beach for a few hours, you know, just stand there, walk at the edge of the water. And something that was so unplanned that I had on. I did not. It wasn't planned at all. Just driving around. I'm like, I'm going to do the beach today, which is a good, like 4 or 5 hours away. But it was nice. Very nice change of pace. You can just be there for like 2 hours and spend more time driving than anything. It's very nice. There we go. Again, I'm looking at the slop badge I have. My wheels are spinning on how I can make it better. I wonder if I could. I probably could find a way to integrate in the no AI slop thing and the chat boxes into one overlay on stream elements. That way I can just essentially move them all at once versus essentially have them overlap in a way that I don't really want. Again, that'll be for after stream. Maybe I gotta figure out where else I could put that. I don't know if I can put that banner really anywhere. It's not gonna be in the way of UI potentially. Oh well. Again, much life, trial and error. And why art is fun, because you can just try stuff out, because not only do I think AI art looks kind of bad, it's also just a thing of many moons ago, I remember playing with an AI art generator. I'm like, this is frustrating. I can't get what I want. I feel like you have to be like as verbose as I can be with my words. There's more like I cannot explain to this thing what I want. I just kind of just know. I don't want anything simple. I want something like unique. I have my really weird, to me, important reasons why I want certain things a certain way. Yeah, she steps up like. And okay. There's a bit of an edge to this thing. I need to get up here. Oh, and there's a reason that I did put the no AI slop little badge up there. So apparently Twitch, more in particular Amazon, who owns Twitch, had everybody automatically opted into a setting where it's like, oh yeah, your chat can be used to train AI, and it was a big thing. Everybody's like, yeah, go disable this. Then I think people were tagging their streams like no generative AI or no AI used or whatever. But then it looked like, and maybe it's just like somebody wasn't, I think I saw a comment say that somebody just wasn't using the search correctly. But like nobody could find streams that are tagged no AI used or whatever. And somebody said like, well, we just put like something like in our stream UI so that way they can't like as easily hide them. Yeah, it might benefit me trying to see if I can put like a clear background, not clear, but kind of like a grayish background on the back of that badge. That way, it could always stand out. Yeah, I think that probably needs like a slight grayish, slightly translucent background. That's something for me to hopefully remember to do before next stream, maybe. Maybe. Something else I do want to do, maybe tonight, maybe a night over this weekend, see if we can just we can get like the four of us like playing Helldivers. Elite Force has the main line cast. Jerry Ryan, they couldn't get Ryan for the first release of the game. Thankfully, they got Ryan for the later updated patch version of the game, which is nice. That is nice, yeah. Yeah, because I can't remember the story of like when they said exactly Elite Force is happening, because Jerry Ryan, who plays Seven of Nine, who was a Borg drone that got freed from the Borg. She wasn't there at first. She was added to the cast I think season 4. Season 3 or season 4. So, depending upon when they say that Elite Force happens in the timeline of Voyager, they could just like, well, she wasn't supposed to be there, but I think it's supposed to happen near the end of the series, I think. So you have to have seven of nine there. Of course, they also, again, if they just couldn't get her in there, it's easy to say, like, oh, well, she got kidnapped by XYZ, and that's why she's not there. You find her unconscious the whole time, Is that a cop-out? Maybe, but if you can't have her in there for some reason, So, but yeah, I'd like to see if you, me, and the crew of 4 can be on Helldivers at the same time. We'll see, I suppose. Heck, it was just a crew of 3, just to play Helldivers again. Because we got to deal with the Illuminate and the Void. And one of those, the wretches, their new enemies there, they're necromorphs from Dead Space. Which, I played a level 1 mission in the Void to be able to say, hey, I participated in the major order and helped and all that. And I think the Void Source plan is that right now it has mindless masses and I think there's the Vote Snatchers. Vote Snatchers sub-faction. And I haven't dealt with the Giants yet. I can't remember what they're called. But the Wretches I've dealt with in mixture with the mindless masses, along also with the heavy SCAF presence. So you got like SCAF soldiers helping you as well. And I think somebody pointed out, it's like, it's just going to be true of probably any faction, especially for the Illuminate. It can be really easy to know how to deal with one of the enemies, like how you deal with a voteless, or how you deal with a flesh mob, or an overseer, or a harvester, and all that. The problem comes with, okay, how do you deal with 2, 3, or all of those coming at you at once? But the Wretches by themselves are pretty easy to take out. Just gotta, don't aim for the head, aim for the legs. Aim for the arms. Like an actual Dead Space. So, yeah, it would be good to see if we can get some of our team of 4 on Helldivers. Sometime this weekend, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how people be. I wouldn't be surprised if they add the heavy SCAF presence on the other fronts at some point. They're just going to do it on the Illuminate front because that's where we are right now. Well, actually, I could be absolutely wrong. There may have been a Terminated planet for a bit that had heavy SCAF presence. I could be absolutely wrong on that. I know people have talked about those soldiers are really, really good. I always thought the SCAF soldiers were fairly competent and pretty good already as it was. It seemed like they really went in and made them even better. But I know they're talking about they also take out spawners and be able to that. It's almost kind of broken. It's like, yeah, but the SCAF soldiers still have to get over there, and they're not on every planet. But I think the soldiers seem like they're actually useful, not just cannon fodder. That's real nice. And I'm trying to see if I can get the super credits to get the new Warhammer 40k Warbond. Because those guns all look really useful. They all seem like, yes, this is definitely worth my time. Because Meltigun's just like, yeah, you're dead now, giant thing. Or you are going to be dead. You have to be like super close with the melted gun apparently to kill anything. But you know what? For it to be able to, like some pipe, be like, yeah, it's like it peels Hulk like a banana. It's like, for that, I'll get close. I don't care. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. Helps me win fight against heavy armor. That is a-okay. Gotta have a trade-off somehow. I'm trying to think about... I think prior in Helldivers too, it's like if we ever went to like a urban environment, SAF were always in the cities. That's where they always were prior. But now they're going to add that modifier, presumably, to whatever front we need to be on, really. 40k guy. I probably know like scattered bits and pieces of the lore. I know many years ago I bought a Warhammer real-time strategy game, but it didn't work on the computer, so I never really got to play it. Now it's on my wish list on Steam, and at some point I might play it. I have played, Total War had 3 Warhammer games, right? I think would probably be like maybe like the precursor to 40k. It's like Warhammer, Total War 1, 2, and 3. And it looks like that bunch of the Warhammer universe is a mixture of real-world history and fantasy. So, like, I don't know if they're called the Imperium of Men in Warhammer or not, but, like, I don't think it's like here's like the human faction, but anyway, they have like a faction in the original Warhammer that it's Germany throughout history. It's Holy Roman Empire, in First Warhammer, Total War. By Warhammer 3. By that point, Warhammer 3, it might be like that human faction is like Imperial Germany, like World War I Germany. I know there's other factions that also, I had to look through the list of them again. Again, I just know that like the one human faction, the primary human faction that you play as in Warhammer, it's Germany or Holy Roman Empire, which is a precursor to Germany. Holy Roman Empire being, there's like a collection of like, what is it, like 200 or just like a whole bunch of smaller German-speaking states that the Holy Roman Empire wasn't like, it wasn't like whole nation like we think of Germany is today. It's like they're probably like, yeah, there's the Holy Roman Emperor, whatever, you know. I remember correctly, like, it was mostly ceremonial. Like, yeah, he has a crown, whatever, you know. And then like Napoleon went through and okay, Holy Roman Empire is gone. There's no more Holy Roman Empire. Screw that thing. So I think it led to a lot of German states coming back together, or coming together, and then you get to the 1870s. Yeah, I think 1870 is when Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor, comes around and manages to unify a lot of, I think it was like anything that wasn't Austria, unified the remaining German-speaking states that weren't under Prussian control together to make what is now Germany, or what was Germany, then became a split Germany, and is now Germany again. Yeah, if you look at the history of Europe, you'd see that Germany and Italy overall are relatively new nations, because it was like the 1870s when they came together. Meanwhile, you have, you know, England and France and Spain and a bunch of other states that have been around for hundreds of years. And so if it seemed like Germany and Italy were being a little unstable in the 1900s, at least the first half of it, it probably had something to do with the fact that they were still, again, very, very new nations. And let's see, they came out in 1870, and then 1920 is when they started having problems. 1890. You have 50 years, so you could definitely have people, conceivably have people alive that remembered when the German Empire and the Italian state came together. When you have um, Mussolini and a certain Austrian painter with a toothbrush mustache coming to power. I'm not going to say his name. Please don't type his name if you know who I'm talking about. Just a dude who ran Germany in the 1930s. We don't need to say his name. Don't need to say the party name. Just, I'm pretty sure I could say it, but also people are weird about TOS. So just like Germany and Italy went through some hard times in the 20s to the 40s because they were probably unstable and just relatively new nations. So, again, I want to know a bit more about the whole Warhammer universe. I mean, Warhammer, not 40k, definitely seems like it's a mixture of if you know your fantasy races and you know some world history, you understand where they all come along. In Germany, I know is referenced. Egypt's probably got representation. Warhammer. I want to say I was playing Total War. There was a nation that seemed like it reminded me, or seemed like it had the markings of France as well. So there's probably an England/UK thing as well. Plus, there's however many races can be kind of interpreted as representations of other peoples and nationalities. Kind of you have orcs, you have I think you have several orc factions because they're very disorganized in that way. You have the dwarves, not the elves, dwarves. You have elves too. Of course, also know that if you get into it, especially like, I think if you get like 40k, that's an expensive hobby to have because there's just, I imagine there's just like so many factions and units and armies that you can do and all of that. So, I'm trying to think what I know about 40k. You have the God Emperor who seemingly never dies. There's perpetual chaos. Seems like a lot of technology. A lot of technology almost turning into like religious worship as well, if I recall correctly as well. Yeah, there's a lot of fanaticism in that game, for sure. I know they're actually doing I think they're doing they're doing a Total War for Warhammer 40k as well at some point. They announced it, but I don't think they have a release date yet. So that could be just like really, really interesting, where you have all the stuff of Warhammer 40k, and then you have it on the epic battle scale of all Total War game, and then you're conquering territories and all of that. So that should also be. Hopefully that'll do really well, just for the fans of the 40k franchise. They'll be able to have another great game. Okay, Uncle Owen didn't tell me we had a new droid on the farm. You're from Mechius 3, aren't you? A POW2 worker droid. So I'm told. Great, even the droids have seen more of this galaxy than me. Don't worry, Luke, one day maybe you'll be out and about and see stuff. I keep having like thinking of Total War, I keep having a small temptation to play a Total War game. I'm like, it could probably take me like 3 hours just to take a turn. So I don't know if I'd play a Total War game on here. Maybe if I ever were to do like much longer stream videos, so like a one-off stream or something, I could do like a Total War thing maybe. But yeah, Total War is games that like, it sounds like you've maybe played at least one or two or have one or two of them. Those games can take a while, especially when you get into the other ones where you have a lot more things you can deal with per turn and all of that. Definitely something would be surprising if you could easily put maybe 100 hours into a single game of Total War. Think about how into the weeds you get about everything. Or how well things go or not. Definitely just, I could, while playing a game of Total War, just play a bunch of turns, and then next day play a bunch of turns, next day, and it's probably something that, honestly, for the measure, it probably would take me a good several weeks to get through a game of Total War, because I try to stop every once in a while, and then also it just can take a while. It can take a while to conquer enough people to say you won. It can take a while to kill the people who question your authority. It can take a while to conquer enough stuff so they stop invading you. Oh, and I do have the prediction sheet for All In. It's not done yet, but I've got it beyond the very early stages of it now. Skywalker, I'm pretty sure we've seen more. I've seen 3 movies as in the last 70 years. Well, 1, at this time, this is just before he goes off on his massive adventure, and then 2, they have the ability to travel at light speed or faster. We don't in the real world. So yeah. Yeah. I do know that. I think it's the Voyager probe. It is now officially, I think, launched in the 70s. I think it's when it launched, and it has now traveled in that time. I think it's a light day. I think, like, as much time as it takes for light to travel a day, that Voyager 1 or Voyager 2 has traveled now since the 1970s. It's just light travels far, and we don't have a good way to travel like super duper fast. I have an idea for this droid now, that's why I'm watching it right now. The achievement's gonna haunt me if I don't try everything I can think of. So it's interesting that going back to Star Trek, the traveling at warp, it's not a thing of, I think it's not a thing like we're traveling faster than light, it's just that we're making a bubble, then we're shrinking space ahead of it, that way we can travel faster that way. So like in the real world, we're trying to figure that out. Because if we don't do that, then we're going to have issues of, okay, well, like, it'll take us forever to get anywhere. And it might be even at first, because that people, it's like, they leave the planet, and then, like, they don't get to come back, because it's going to take them so long to get to wherever it is. So I think you play, like, the Outer Worlds, and you find, like, hey, there's, like, people, like, frozen for space travel and all that. That's a way that that we've theorized we have to do it. It's like freezing them so they don't die. Why there are a bunch of Christmas lights on a metal trash can? There might be a chance that in order to, like, design it, that's literally what it was. Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million. That's the name of the achievement. Yep. Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million. Sorry, I'm getting pinged about the achievement twice. Once on my Xbox and then once on my computer. I'm technically logged into my Microsoft account there too. But yeah, I know that there've been people that'll point out like, oh, here is like what they use as a prop in a movie, and they mock it. I'm like, hey, if it works, it works. I want to say like the communication device that you see like Qui-Gon Jinn using was technically like there should be like a beard trimmer or something. They just like paint it to look a certain way. Which, like, hey, if it works, it works. Alright? Just because you can tell what real world thing that prop was. Told me it's a bad idea. It looked like a communicator. So. Well. It would just be nice in our lifetime if we could, like, because first thing we need to do for space travel is we need to see if we can put a colony on the moon, because that's our closest thing. But also the furthest we've gotten, with humans at least. Of course, we've sent, probes and rovers and all that much further, but to try to land stuff on planets, you have to be like, okay, like, where are they in the orbits and all that? And if you're wrong, well, you're, like, way off the mark, and we don't necessarily have an ability, apparently, to, like, super correct course after a while. It's like, we can slightly correct course, but yeah, you kind of missed. Because the distances are, like, really, 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 really big. You're talking about not hundreds or thousands, probably like millions of kilometers or miles that you're off by if you shoot it too soon or too late. Washy, wash, washy, washy, wash. Wash it, wash it. Washing off the dirt. Washing off the dirt. Washing off the dirt. If you wash off all the dirt, you see how shiny it is underneath. Washing off all the grates, doo-da, doo-da. If you wash off all the grates, you'll see what's inside. Entrance stairs. I'm presuming that's how you actually get into this courtyard. And does that line up with that homestead building is still there, so maybe like go down and like go through that way, maybe. But then you're, maybe it's still everything. Maybe it's still designed to be like entirely accurate for how you actually get in here. I think if I had to like watch through the movies again to see like, because this might just be like inspired by the design of the homestead where Luke and his aunt and uncle are living. Wash it all off. Wash it all off. Again, sand can be annoying if you're not careful. And Anakin was a slave on Tatooine, so you always known sand. Sand can be annoying if it's what you've always ever dealt with. So those of us that only deal with it for short periods of time, it's kind of annoying. Imagine you always have to deal with it. Because there are things that we are annoyed by that we have to deal with all the time, being where we are in North Kakalaki. Clean. Gonna clean all this off because that's the point of this game. What's that Anakin says? Like, I don't like sand. It's harsh and coarse. It gets everywhere. I think that's the line that he says. And there's people that'll see the courting little stuff that Anakin and Padme do, like, how did Anakin do all of that? And people have theorized that despite Anakin may not having the most game and having some of the most weird things to say to her, that maybe that Anakin was just such a powerful Force user that unknowingly he was like manipulating her mind because he just had so much of the Force in him. Of course, rough irritating and it gets everywhere. Yeah, that's what I figured the line was. I think that's probably as close to what I said. Maybe. I hope so. Star Wars is a nice franchise. I think, as I've said before, I'd never want to pick between Star Wars and Star Trek because it's depending on what you're looking for. Because Star Wars is more the fiction part of sci-fi. Then Star Trek is more the science part of sci-fi. So whatever you're looking for on a particular day. Star Wars can be great for probably teaching lessons, and it's got lasers and aliens and all that. I feel like the prequel trilogy needed to be done differently. I do love episode 1, but episode 1 should have just been a episode 0 prequel to everything else. Episodes 2 and 3 should have been stretched out across the trilogy. That should have been the trilogy. You should have had, like, where episode 2 started is like the start of the trilogy. And then you have, it's probably more like episode 2 needed to be episode 1. You had episode 2 to be some other stuff. And then episode 3 be episode 3. Probably what you needed, because I did feel like Anakin's turn was kind of a bit fast across like 2 movies. Of course, they do have the Clone Wars animated series to really like expand upon it, but just for like the sake of main canon that you can watch you know, kind of quickly and all of that, you know. It was a bit fast for Anakin to turn. And there's probably also a degree of those of us that were born before the prequel trilogy. It's a thing like we kind of knew that. It's like we knew that Anakin Skywalker was going to turn into Darth Vader. So there wasn't that thing of like having any of that kind of like surprise. Yeah. Yeah, episodes 1, 2, and 3, especially 2 and 3. Again, 2 and 3 should have been expanded into a trilogy by themselves. Episode 1 was great because it also does set up, okay, well, how do Anakin and Obi-Wan, link up? You have the pod racing, you give more background to what all led to everything in episode 1. But like, again, 2 and 3 should have been a trilogy. And I don't know, I'd have to dig into it more. It's definitely a thing of like, people like really didn't like it for the longest time. People back now, it's actually really good. It's probably also a degree of, there's people where the prequel trilogy was their first Star Wars, so it's going to mean more to them, just like the original trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6, are what I grew up on. So I'm probably going to have a softer spot for 4, 5, and 6 than 1, 2, and 3. And with the way world events have been going, people have been like 7, 8, and 9. Well, 7, 8, and 9 still had their problems. I think people were wondering, like, what do you mean the Empire just came back? Well, we see how the last few years in the real world has gone, so I think we understand now how you can have a fascist government just come back later on, because I think probably called out really well that I saw recently. It's the rebels in episode 4, 5, and 6. They knew how to take down the awful government, but they didn't know how to fix the system that allowed for it to rise back up again. Now, 7, 8, and 9 still just... I think it's over from having different people in charge. I think it's a big problem that happened because just they couldn't... there wasn't a unified vision. But also there's really insecure men that were unhappy that there was a female lead. Now we can have comments about the lead being good, bad, or indifferent, or about Rey being a good or a bad character, but the tragic thing is that some of the argument's going to be in bad faith because, like, oh, it's a woman. They're going to come up with every reason in the book why Rey is an awful character. But then you could also find, like, 3 male characters that act the exact same way, and no, they're totally fine. They did do things wrong in 7, 8, and 9, though. 7 I thought was fine. I thought it was a good one. Played 7, played it safe. I was playing... I mean, also, it's Star Wars. It's one you really shouldn't... It is really frustrating to constantly hear, play it safe, play it safe, play it safe. It's Star Wars. Try something. People don't like it, fine. It's still Star Wars. People are still going to want everything else. There's so much you can do with it. It's like, I think people were saying 7, 8, 9 was trying to, like, recreate the 4, 5, 6 arc, which... I mean, it's a good arc, but I'd want to counter with than just watch 4, 5, and 6. 7, 8, 9 could have done more, and 7, 8, 9 tried to do some more stuff. And to think of, it was us having to probably put a bit of a bow on, like, the original 3 of Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Leia Organa, since Carrie Fisher passed away while shooting those movies. I think she passed away... during episode 9's filming, like after episode 9's filming, I think. Can't quite remember now, but it's something like it in the end ended up telling a really good story that if you don't completely fix the conditions that led to an oppressive, authoritarian, fascist government to rise up, that government will just rise back up again later with people who are fanatics. Like we saw in Germany, where there's the what was it called? The the beer hall pups. I think it's what it's called. I can't remember what the last word it is, but it's like the Nazi Party tried to take over the government there, and they were squashed. But then they never properly punished the leader. Then he came back in 1930s and became chancellor. Watched the spin-off movies Rogue One, Solo. Rogue One I've seen. Rogue One I think is a very good movie. You know, people are like, oh, there's no need for it. It's like, dude, that's what we needed. It was a good movie. It showed how Leia Organa got in possession of the plans with the Death Star. And it was also, Rogue One was one where it didn't, I mean, like episode 5 didn't really have a happy ending either, because it was, you know, like Han got captured and then Luke lost his hand and learned who his father was and all of that. But Rogue One was like bleak. It was like none of them survived. You know, they all got killed, but they for that ultimate sacrifice got the plans into the hands of the rebellion. So they were able to figure out how to defeat the Death Star. And I think also, like, I'm trying to remember how it's framed, but it's like in Rogue One, they explain why there is no Blue Squad in Episode 4. Now, the technical reason was in the 1970s, they just couldn't have like blue colored whatever in the graphics they did. Just it couldn't be done for some reason. Maybe it was like the background that they were, I can't remember that. I don't remember how good the tech was then, but it was like blue wouldn't work for the graphics that they were doing in the 1970s. So in Rogue One, like, oh, you know, Blue Squad got wiped out on the planet. That's why there was no Blue Squad at the Battle of Yavin. You know, so there's that point too. I think they also in their there was some other tech that like the protagonist mentioned that came back up in episode 8. Because in episode 8 there you have the First Order chasing after the New Rebellion ships, and what was it? It was like they're like chasing them into or out of or through hyperdrive, and there's some way like the way the pursuit was going that people just didn't like. It's like, well, why they do like XYZ reason? But like in episode, in like Rogue One, they mentioned the tech in question. I can't remember what it is now. I'm like stammering out because I can't remember what the tech was now. But I've seen Rogue One. I think Rogue One was a really good movie. It was a beautiful story told. And it added bits of lore here and there, like why there was no Blue Squad at Battle of Yavin. Because I don't remember if it was like a thing of like people wondered or not, but the question was answered. Solo, a Star Wars story, just from the clips I saw, was not very impressed with the actor they had playing Han Solo, because I think as we were talking about last time, Harrison Ford's just like it's got so much damn charisma, man. It's just Han Solo and Harrison Ford are the same, you know. So I remember just seeing like the actor, I'm just like, I don't buy him as Han Solo, suave and charming and all that. It felt like I didn't have the charisma for it. I felt like that was like a general thing of just, it felt like the guy just couldn't, he just wasn't going to quite be good enough to be a Han Solo. Just not quite enough, just like pure goddamn charisma. Yeah, if you haven't seen Rogue One, I say go watch Rogue One. It is a good story. And it has bits of lore. And maybe I'll watch Solo, a Han story at some point to see, or solo a Star Wars story at some point, maybe just to see, and maybe it's better than I think. But I think also people with the solo Star Wars story said that it was also one like it wasn't necessary. I mean, like it was either not necessary or like it really didn't add anything. It's like it was there, that's nice, but like we knew all of this, and you're just like telling us what we already know. So after watching it, I just was not impressed by the charisma that guy had. At least in the trailers, just didn't, I don't know, just didn't seem to have it. I don't hate them. That was alright. This is Christ, they didn't do digital de-aging. So you wouldn't want to stay here after this, would you? Hoping I can leave this farm soon to join Biggs at the academy. My uncle and aunt had some help around this place. Maybe I could leave early. Yeah, maybe you could, Luke. Didn't do digital de-aging. Well, I think with that, I don't know if Harrison Ford would have been doing it. Harrison Ford just been like, I'm tired of being Han Solo. They probably just wanted to get brand new actors anyway, just to make that easier. Because it isn't a thing like Star Wars isn't above like doing some digital stuff to like put people's faces in place. I think they have also de-aged a few people from time to time, but it's like rare. I think in one of the sequel trilogy they had Carrie Fisher's daughter like physically there, but they CG'd on Carrie Fisher's face. General, not Martok, wrong star thing. Grand Moff Tarkin. I think they did a de-aging thing on him as well, or a digital thing as well. Same with Leia, I think, in Rogue One. So they've done it from time to time, but it's like very like a short little scene. They don't want to do like an entire movie like that. I think Luke popped up in, I think it was Mandalorian. They had like Luke Skywalker, like I don't think it was necessarily a de-aged Mark Hamill, but they occasionally digitally put people in if they have to, but only if they absolutely have to. But yeah, I don't think they have the gall to try to do a whole movie of de-aging Harrison Ford. And again, Harrison Ford is just when Han got killed in Episode 7, he was like, finally, I can stop being Han Solo. I think he said he wanted Han Solo to die like somewhere in the original trilogy. That way he could be like done with it, you know. But Han lived, so he had to keep being Han Solo from time to time, I guess. So, of course, now we found that they can find a good replacement for Harrison Ford again, the voice actor. I think his name is Troy Baker, who did the voice for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle Game. He did a fantastic job of imitating Harrison Ford's voice. It is something where it's just you'll, if you haven't heard it and you hear it, you're like, no, that's Harrison Ford. What are you talking about? That's Harrison Ford. What do you mean that's somebody else? And the aging stuff is just, it's tricky at best. Some of it being because people aren't probably being given enough time. Because you can probably do it really well where people may not be able to tell if they don't know, but you got to give the digital people a lot of time to do it. You can't rush it, you can't cut corners. Just insert F the ultra wealthy, F the executives here. They just make stuff more complicated than it's got to be. Anywho, this is supposed to be about escaping the void, not staring into the IRL void anymore. Going back to episode 8, I remember watching episodes, I think I watched episodes 8 and 9 in theaters with my Nevin Grove people. Did you ever watch Mandalorian? I was making an episode or two. I watched a few episodes of Mandalorian, and then Neurodivergent Brain just went that way with it. Looks like a really good show. Just Neurodivergent Brain just decided, we're not watching that right now. It's like, why? Because we're not watching it right now. But why? We're not watching it right now. But why? I do want to sit down and watch it at some point. I need to... One, I need Disney Plus. Two, I need to just, like, I guess be in the right mindset, headspace, energy, whatever, to sit down and, like, watch show. It's not a time problem. I have all the time in the world. I've had all the time in the world for forever and a day. It's just sort of like 5 other things my brain's not thinking to do immediately. But yeah, episode 8 of Star Wars that I watched in theaters with my Byron and company. And I remember, so there's a point where, like, the one woman, like, crashes the ship into the pursuing First Order people. And I remember when that happened, I'm just like, man, is this movie, like, over yet? I feel like it should be over by now. And they still had to do their recreation of the Battle of Hoth on the desert planet. You know? And again, it's just, you know, it's the thing of just, like, I don't think they didn't have a unified vision across that trilogy. Cliff-Note version, my brain needs to shut up. Occasionally, yeah, it just needs to quit worrying about the 15 other things, or it needs to actually be clear, okay, what do you want me to do? Because my brain can be very just, you need to relax. Oh, but now you didn't get anything done. Now I saw a cartoon where it's like someone's like, brain's telling, like, you need to relax, and the person sitting down trying to get relaxed, like, you should be doing something productive. Pull out their brain. What do you want? Make up your mind. Because it's hard to do. It's just really, really hard to do, especially if you live alone. And there's always something you need to do, but you can't just go. You can't just do. You need to know when to rest, and it's hard to accomplish sometimes. That's I want to try to watch at some point. Also, the Clone Wars animated series, because people have said that it is really, really good, and it also can get very, very dark sometimes. This is something that's on Cartoon Network for kids. It's like war freaking blows. It's, yeah, brain is amazing. You've got 36. There's probably been some degree of just being very fortunate overall. I know that if I was not male, if I wasn't straight, if I wasn't white, there'd be some degree of it being harder for me. As much as it can be frustrating for me to, like, try to get things done, I also just have a thing of just, I don't want a whole lot. I never really have. I'm not one to want, like, a bunch of flashy this and flashy that, and I've been fortunate that I have a degree in computer science that makes me lots of money. Yeah, just, my brain just, like, forced me to just, like, get locked into habits and locked down and all of that, but I've also got people around me that are willing to help if I need it. I don't live near all of them at the moment necessarily, but just I've been very fortunate in my life. It's not something where it's like, so I put it in a TOS friendly way. I've never wanted to end my save file early, we'll say. I've just wanted to just like be like, okay, can I just like go sleep for a while and then have this like resolve itself? That'd be great. I'm tired of dealing with this shit, you know. Which even that's still not healthy, but it's better than me trying to figure out the quickest way to like end my save file early. We'll put it that way. I've not ever had any strong desire. And I'm working on it. And just whenever there might be times where I'm just like locked down, there's times where I'm also just like flowing and vibing and all that, you know. Again, unfortunately, right now, for example, I haven't been employed for a long time now, but I've got so much money at my disposal that I can survive even a few more months even after this. Don't want to. I'd like to not have to just survive anymore, but yeah, sometimes I'm just fortunate, and I could have it far worse. I could have it worse. I could be just, again, I'm not, for whatever reason it might be, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm not like super needy of a lot of things, you know, just, I don't need a fancy television, I don't need the most expensive of whatever. Sometimes I'm cool just staying at home. Now I've sat at home way too much. I need to get out more. And depending upon whether I need to, actually do need to move or not for employment, because I might end up needing to move closer to where Byron is, because out that way is where more programming jobs are, and that might be near one of my best friends, which I haven't had anything where I could, in theory, be at a person's house in like 10 to 15 minutes in a very long time. Because it's nice talking to people online, but it's not the same as in person. It's always better in person. Again, I've been very fortunate. That's some of it. There's a multitude of ways I could be unfortunate. Because my brain, yeah, can lock me down from, you know, watching all the movies and shows and all that, but also can just be very much just, it can be there to obsessive about my budget. Be obsessive about trying to make sure that things are accounted for. And there's times where I overanalyze it, but, you know, just, I gotta get things done. I am very astutely aware of various things, and it probably also has ended up, money-wise, leading to me probably actually ending up being a bit better off than, and things not going to be as dire as I'm fearful of, at least not as soon as I think. So, when you're going to be like overly worrying, overly analyzing stuff, you got to know when to reel it in. But also, there's times where it helps if you find a way to let over analytical worry like have a healthy outlet. It can really help. Just with my budget, my one tip I'd give somebody like, hey, you know, what's your tips for, you know, good budgeting and all of that? I'd be like, round up your expenses to the next dollar and round down your income to the nearest dollar. So you made, you know, 2,137 cents. You made 2,100. Just forget the 37 cents. Oh, that cost, you know, $5.39. Cost $6. Oh, but you're like hiding pennies and all that. Yeah, but those pennies can turn into dollars. That can help fudging this little thing one way or the other. And I got my various spreadsheets for letting me say, okay, well, this is how much I made in the month, and this is how much extra there is. Okay, if I put, you know, like 30% towards this thing, then just constantly checking numbers, constantly doing it, because I'm a big old nerd, but I definitely have Dad's, you know, over-worrying tendencies, admittedly, but again, it keeps me good. Keeps me a little bit better off. Again, just, I'll say it again, just, been very fortunate. That's some of it. Lessons of life, yes, that's what I have no problem doing, especially for my brother. Trying to help you live life better. Have everybody live life better. Be something awesome I'd love to do if all this content creation stuff ever, like, seriously took off. It's just, potentially just be a person like, hey, this is my 2 cents on thing to make life better for you. While also just fighting to be where, after a while, you're not having to worry about whatever it is, because we have more than enough resources in this world where everybody can have food, water, shelter. It's not a problem, but it's like, well, you know, these, you know, 1,500 people who, you know, make millions of dollars just sitting in a boardroom every day, if even that, well, they gotta have more money. No, they don't. No, they don't. We, the people that are actually making the frickin' everything, deserve all of that. We should be able to live in a, right now, society, and then eventually a world that's the Star Trek future, where you don't have to work to survive. You just work because, like, yeah, I'd like a few extra bucks to, like, buy this thing that I want. You know, I want to have a job for, like, 6 months, and with that I can buy gifts for my people, I can buy myself a nice thing, I can go on a vacation, it's a little nice, spoil myself, spoil the people I love a little bit. It's a society that we can live in. Absolutely no problem. Yeah. I know that world can exist. The reason I'll always believe that there can be and will be a better tomorrow is that there's the people that will be so pessimistic, like, oh, no matter what you do, blah, blah, blah. People are like, oh, no. We're fixing the world's problems. No. We're not sticking to this inefficient way of doing it. No. We're not going to just let this keep happening. We're fixing it. And if people complain about it, too bad. So, and I'll always want to help those people the most that I can. And call the idiots as much as I can. So, wash. Getting Klein. Might be able to, tell me what nice fellows might be able to get 2 of these missions in Star Wars done today. Or maybe I'll jump back to the, I still need to do the main stuff, the stuff that came with PowerWash too. But another achievement later on when we watch an ad on Hoth is apparently, like, do it all without soap, which that doesn't seem like it'd be hard. Uncle Owen says you might be a bit too specialist to help out here. Possibly. We have to somehow get you a vocabulator installed and some new tools, but good luck finding those on this rock. Yeah, there ain't much on Tatooine. Watch the flow, watch the flow, watching the flow with the flow, watching. Watching the flow because it's dirty. Okay. I'm trying to remember the levels. And then it said there's this X-Wing, AT-AT, Imperial Bridge. I think I'm missing one. Cleaning an AT-AT is like cleaning a two-story tall dog. It is big. It do be tall. It be very tall, very long, very big. Guess we'll see it when we get to it. Yeah, probably dark. Very dark. Of course it's dark. Power wash. Of course it's dark. Cause it's so dirty. I'll probably get paid in credits. Probably not Republic credits. Cause this is for episode 4, so the Republic is gone. Maybe Imperial credits, but no, cause it's not a win. And according to Watto, Republic credits what was Jack. And I doubt Imperial credits are worth Jack either. Alright, push the button. Cannot push button. It is button. I want to push button, but there's no point to push button because it is not button. Okay. As I've said before, I like having you in here, brother. Gets me talking. Makes me feel like I'm actually streaming for some reason versus, yeah, let me go through extra steps to play this game. Got someone to talk to, which is really nice. Slow dirty. This glow dirty. Planter box should be clean too. Love to see some PowerWash DLC, some little Monty Python. Oh, they'd probably make gangbusters, you know, with just the Holy Grail alone. Definitely a lot of key locations. I'd be interested to see what they could do with Monty Python when it comes to PowerWash. They could definitely do the bridge where the Black Knight was fighting. They could probably try to do one at the castle where the French Taunter was. A couple different places. I have to watch again and just see if I can call out more locations. But there's a few locations they could definitely do, I think. I think they could do. I like all the... They did a bunch of DLCs for the first PowerWash. Hammer. I know they did Shrek. I know they did Final Fantasy VII. And they had some free DLCs which were nice. It was like a cruise ship. At least like the bridge or the deck of a cruise ship they had you wash. They wouldn't make a gangbusters off Life of Brian. Well, I just know that Holy Grail, people love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. People love it. It is far and away the best Monty Python movie. If people know a Monty Python movie, they probably know Holy Grail. They could probably just make it up, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But they could also throw in Life of Brian and whatever the third one was. I mean, just off of Holy Grail alone, because if you're going to be seeing people making references to Monty Python, there's some from Flying Circus, the show they did, like Ministry of Silly Walks and Spam, I know, are two references people have from time to time. And also there's, and now time for something completely different. Like, and now for something completely different. I mean, that's what I figured it was, but I wasn't sure. It's like, just Monty Python and the Holy Grail would be just, people would buy that up. You don't need any others. That one by itself would do great things. People would want the others, of course, but just, it's the only one you need. You need that. Speaking of that movie, me and Byron generally did spend last little bit of my time when I was seeing him the other weekend, just randomly watching just random clips from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because his YouTube kept recommending them. We're like, well, I mean, if his YouTube's going to keep recommending Monty Python and Holy Grail clips, we got to watch them, you know. Evidently, some of us also just reciting, probably almost verbatim, if not verbatim, various lines. Because he and I have definitely watched it independently and then even like separately a lot. I think like when he was in band in high school, occasionally when they like had like a day off or something, just like in band class they would watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Because as you're aware, it's a goddamn hilarious movie. Also reminds me of just how much I probably should have been in band, really. I should have been in some kind of music or some kind of art class alongside my academic stuff. Just, I don't think Dad quite understood that, no, it'd be a good thing for me to be in art stuff. It's not a waste of time. Just, Dad had a very restricted view of what doing good in school meant. Where it was purely about academics. It wasn't about, it was not understanding beyond that. I mean, I did good in school, it's just, there was a certain point where it's just I stopped taking art classes, and it wasn't like my performance fell off a cliff, but for to make a Holy Grail DLC, what settings for the movie would be power washed? The Black Knight scene, Black Knight fight would be the scene where she's a witch. The castle of the French Tante. The scene of the killer rabbit. I think they call it the Bridge of Fear, where it's like answer my 3 questions. That bridge would probably be power washed as well. Maybe the last area as well, but I think just like Black Knight scene, she's a witch, get a rabbit, the bridge, and maybe one other. French Taunter Castle, probably. Or maybe just watch like the Trojan Rabbit. Just watch that because it's dirty. You know, that'd be 5. That'd be a good collection of them. It'd be a good place just to, within that, just like sneak in reference. Of course, somewhere you have to, in every scene, you have to wash a pair of coconuts somewhere. That would be my rough proposal for a Mighty Python and the Holy Grail PowerWash DLC. I'm trying to remember if it was like, first I made a rabbit. It's like, okay, wooden badger, stop it! Because they made it, they delivered it, and it's just, they weren't in it. And then the French threw the wooden rabbit back at them. That seems fresh. I know it's one that was just about YouTube. Me and Byron watched it. I am French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent? That's one thing that I wouldn't be able to repeat all of it because the French Taunter has such great and unique insults. Where it's just, you have to pause for a second, like, remember the words. You have to, like, reread the words. English, snigget. Of course, a lot of everybody knows. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. Now go away or I'll taunt you a second time. Then there's, I've already got one. What? I already have one. Oh yes, it's very nice. I told you I already got one. About what scene I probably know. I probably know most of the Black Knight scene very well. I just might get some stuff. I have to pause to remember what went where. So much if I can remember it. You fight with the strength of many men tonight. I am Arthur, King of the Britons. I'm on a quest to find the Holy Grail Will you join me? Make me sad. So be it. None shall pass. What? None shall pass. I've no quarrel with you, good knight. I must cross this bridge. Then you shall die. So be it. Then they fight. Reach out to his arm. Make me over. Ugh. Oh, then. What? How about you? You're indeed brave, right? But the fight is mine. Oh, you're not say. Look at you at batting on no arm left. Yes, I have. Look. Just a flesh wound. Or that later on, where it's like, look at it back there. I'm trying to remember, it's still right, I have no arm left. They just say, you're indeed brave, sir, but the fight is mine. Oh, you're not say. Look at you, I have no arm left, you have. Look, just a flesh wound. Then they fight again, top of his other arm. And he's trying to, like, take me lower for it, and then the, like, just kicks him again. What it says. That might be the point. Look at your badge, I have no arms left. Does I have? Look. No, at first it's, 'tis but a scratch. Now it is like. No, it's like, he beat him, like, stand aside with the adversary. 'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, isn't. What's that then? I've had worse. You lie. Come on, you pansy. Then he cuts off his arm. Black Knight kicks him. Look at you, badger, I have no arms left. Yes, I have. Look, just a flesh wound. Look, stop it, Jiggy. Jiggy, I have your leg. Right, I'll do you for that. So what? I'm invincible. You're a loony. The Black Knight always triumphs. And at some point he's like, what are you going to do, bleed on me? At some point he says that too. You're going to bleed on me? I'm invincible. You're a loony. The Black Knight always triumphs. How about you? Come on then. Alright, we'll call it a draw. Come, Patsy. Oh, I see. Run away, eh? You yellow bastard. Come here, get what's coming to you. I'll bite your legs off. You keep can't quite. I remember a lot of the parts of it, but it's taking me a moment to like reconstruct what is where for sure. That's something they could probably do. Thinking back to what scenes, just anytime that you saw, it wouldn't work 100%, but like if they need ideas for them, there's these try to go like, okay, like where did like the investigator that was chasing them the whole time go to? So they never found the scene at the Black Knight. I don't think they went to the French Taunter's castle. At least not until the very end. Maybe where the like to say ni, but not that say ni. Bring us a shrubbery, something nice, but not too expensive, and a tree with a herring. Definitely to watch that movie again at some point. Maybe next time I see Byron, he and I can just take it and just freaking watch it again. Just because. Bravo. Say Brave Sir Robin's a highlight. Yes. Lovely brave Sir Robin, who brave they ran away, who brave they ran away. And also he has the squire or the bard singing for him. He's like, just skip past that part. I think there's a point where he's like, skip past that part, because it's like talking about how cowardly he was. It's definitely a great moment. And then there is the bridge scene where it's like, what is your name? What is your quest? What is your favorite color? Or you can go. What is your name? What is your quest? What is the capital of this area? Well, no, that. Bug it off. Yes, I think that's happy what it was. What? And then the next one, like, what is your name? What is your quest? What is your color? Blue. No, green. Which, for a security question for the work account that I had for a while, the security question was, what is your favorite color? And I said, blue, no red. Because what I like to do with security questions occasionally is just give an answer that's technically correct, but it's not straight up. So instead of just saying red, I'd say blue, no red. And I don't know if anytime I'd like call in and give that security question answer, maybe one of them got it. I don't know, but then the last one, that bridge scene. What is your name? What is your quest? What is the aspect of Lynn Swallow? I don't know. African European swallow. What do you mean, African European swallow? Oh, that. How do you know this? Well, you know these things as king. I know, is like, are you just in coconuts migrate? Then you have the two guards on that wall just discussing, like, well, you can't have a swallow migrate with a coconut. It's too heavy. What if you had a string and two of them carried it? Something like that. They're just going with like the ridiculous scenario of how a coconut can end up in England. Which I'm pretty sure is crazy. I don't know if any current would allow for that to happen. She's a witch. Find the witch. She turned me into a newt. A newt? I got better. What floats in water? Really small rocks. We'll bring out your dead. I'm not dead yet. You'll be soon. I've gotten better. Also, I remember the scene where it's just he's fighting the serfs that are to talk about various forms of government, you know, in a hilarious way. And the thing about Monty Python and the Holy Grail is that it's very accurate to medieval England and King Arthur lore and all of that. So it's like they're not just pulling jokes out of nowhere. They know their stuff. They know how to make fun of it or how to reference it proper. It's truly great. I know I put in the general chat of our Discord one time the description of where the killer rabbit probably came from. And something, if you look at medieval manuscripts, you see that they have like these really innocent animals like being very violent and killing people. It's like, but it's a rabbit, it's a snail, it's not gonna be violent, it's not gonna kill people. Again, it's like, kill the rabbit! Cruel and foul beast! They call me Tim. Which I think at least the legend goes, like, he said that because he couldn't remember what the name actually was, but it's also might be thinking that's intentional. Which are like this, oh, he's a wizard, has all these, great powers, shooting fire and all that. When you watch he's doing fire, like, for absolutely no good reason, just because he can. Which is hilarious. It also makes sense for him to be this great wizard, and his name is Tim. Other Knights of the Round Table. Camelot, Camelot, Camelot. It's only a model. Hush you. Then they go to the Knights of the Round Table. Some men were able. They're just over the song, and King Arthur's like, on second thought, let's go to Camelot. Tis a silly place. Oh, and I know one line that I use a lot. It's like, what a strange person. There's some strange people out there. It is during the French Tartar scene. I definitely think, what a strange person. And you are a sad, strange little man. Or from Toy Story, the first Toy Story, are lines that I do use a lot because people be people, man. And people also just be quite strange people. Be quite a strange person. And sad, strange, pathetic little people. So the Alpha Dude Bros. They're sad, strange little men. And they have my pity. And there's having multiple scenes from Monty Python, all they just run through my head at once. And like, what else? Flutes. Very small rocks. Oh, that one in particular sticking in my head right now. But Great Wizard. He was John Cleese playing the wizard. Ready to go. We're now watching the film. Back with a few episodes of Flying Circus. Yeah, it can let it be a lesson in how powerful facial hair can be in obscuring your identity. Because I think you saw it with Dad, where he was, very bearded, and in recent years he has not been. It's something where if you know what somebody looks like enough, you can kind of see through it. But if you don't really know what somebody looks like, it can throw you off and look like a different person. It can make some men look like they're like very, very young. The memes where it's like, why don't shave? It's like a picture of a guy with full beard, and then the next picture like a young little baby. It's just like, yeah, that's why you don't shave all your facial hair off at once unless you're trying to like run from the law, because boy, oh boy, do you look different. And there's people that I think the most they've ever seen me be close to clean shaven is having only this. Beyond that, they've pretty much always seen me with like full facial. They have not seen me clean shaven. People like Byron have seen me clean shaven in forever. So they probably wouldn't be able to recognize what I'd look like immediately otherwise. I got stuff everywhere. I know the dining area is completely closed. Not closed, but completely clean. Floor, small counter. Container, there we go. There we go. I track every blooming thing. Okay. I'm trying to get to there to where it's all clean. Storage room button. So there is buttons. Can't clean button. Can't push button. Spare room. This is a refresher. AKA the bathroom. In case you got a potty. Oh, these pepper. Okay. Yeah. Clean, or I might have to go up there actually. I'm trying to think about, well, I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do for the rest of the stream and how long stream's going to last. Scrub the flow, scrub the flow. Yeah, we're approaching 6:30, so I need to kind of make a decision about stream. Because I've been saying I'm going to stream for shorter, but I've also been like, hey, if I'm like moving and grooving and vibing, then I might go longer. But I'm also getting kind of hungry. So what I might do is once I'm done with this level, I think the next like main level of PowerWash 2 is like a truck and trailer, I think. So I might just do that level and then depending on how long it takes, make a judgment from there. Roll up, oh, roll up. Make it shine, make it shine. This dirty floor upstairs, I'm gonna make it shine. Make it shine, make it shine, make it shine. Ain't nothing gonna happen to these people that I'm sure. I think the next level, actually, in the Star Wars DLC might actually be the cantina, as I think about it. It's a key location, so. Clean is very nice. If only I could get my own apartment this clean, but yeah, maybe one day. What a desolate place this is. Great job, Pizzero. Uncle Owen says that you're heading into Moss Isley next. I'll give you a lift to my speeder, but I'm not allowed there. Besides, I can feel the rumbling of a sandcrawler approaching. Uncle Owen's gonna need me for any negotiations. And with that, an adventure begins for one Luke Skywalker. Car and trailer. Still a sign of Karen despite the absence of the merman hum. But I've at least now received this single text. What's taking you so long? Wink emoji. I replied with a question mark, but got nothing back. I need you to clean my car and trailer so I can watch and get into the deep meditative state needed to work out such a fiendish conundrum. Ooh. Fancy. I don't know why we got it fancy, but yeah. Cat. Good kitty. Good squeak. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then oop. Yeah, that gentle white noise ambiance. Now I can focus. It is nice. This is a very relaxing game just for the white noise alone. I don't think this level has a special achievement to it. Pet the kitty, boop the kitty, yes. Yes, what you must do with any kitty that consents. Katie's got to be okay with you doing that. You can't just do that. Cat might be like, yeah, no, you don't get to touch me. Now you're going to become scratching post. Wash off the gun, 'cause the zoning was dirty AF. So I want to talk about that emptied their house all over the car and trailer. I would hope not, because that's like getting some serious like anglage that they shouldn't be. Just big old WTF at that. Let's use the low wash to clean this roof. Super shiny trailer keeps throwing me off for a minute because I keep thinking it's like, no, that's just the reflection. I just need to let the reflection like die for a second, then I can get a better gauge of how good it be looking. Yeah, someone's having to. It's odd, I found some coordinates hidden in an unfinished, very hard Sudoku puzzle. Normally, Karen would polish one of those off in seconds, not deface it like that. I don't know what to tell you, but like what I was saying is like, if someone's like eating Taco Bell, then just like spraying it everywhere. It's like, why are you bending over and shooting it out like a cannon? It's probably not good you're able to shoot it out like a cannon. Sad, no. If you're gonna be shooting it that far out of your ass up here, then I think you've got yourself a problem. Might need to lay off the fiber. Yeah. The name Karen's gotten a bad name, so to speak. Do feel bad for any good woman that's named Karen. But it always does seem like it's someone named Karen that acts like a Karen. Message received. Oh, clean the satellite dish first. Oh, there was a thing. Okay, cool. Cool, okay. I got the challenge done. Nice. So nice. Patch. Set him a light dish. Okay, this don't need cleaning. There we go. Trying to get any up here cleaning done prior up to. Karen has a bad name. Well, I think even before 2020, you started having a lot of Karen incidents, I think, if I recall my history proper. Just that you got more of the Republican Karens screaming that they wanted to get their hair cut despite they might die from COVID. Whatever. where I can, and then go back over the rust later, I guess. And we get that winder done. Get this winder done. That winder's done. What about this winder? Yep, that winder's done. Okay, now we're gonna have to do this. Give it a good soapy soap. Soap, 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 cause it's dirty. Get back here cleaned. Get it clean. All nice and sparkly clean. Clean it all up, 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 clean it all up. Well, what's she done that for? She's moved my data light on the balcony to the point of a very specific point near Power Falls. You don't know what's going on, person. Look at the back. Thing comes by and bus. Yeah, I know that the I know that in particular, whatever his name was, the guy who drove the bus in Village 98. This does remind me of his. I think he's driving like a prison bus in second offense. In V8 second offense. For sure, it definitely gives me that reminder and that vibe, yeah. Soap it up, soap it up, soap it all up, soap it all up, soap it up, soap it all up. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Got that clean. I'd like to see a remaster of those games too. I think you could definitely get some people to buy them for sure. I'd definitely buy them if they did a remaster. Or at least have to consider it. It's one of those games that's definitely like kind of stuck on older tech and it needs to be preserved by being brought to more modern consoles, or at least just have like the files out in the open so that we can do it. I'm pretty sure you could probably, or if you really wanted to, you could probably like find a way to emulate it, but that's not the same. Not the same, man. soap it up. Soap it up, cause it's really dirty. Get it clean, till it's filthy. Yeah, not soap too ever soap, but quite a good deal of soap because you gotta make sure it's clean. Real clean. Hey, Seti, any chance you're free to help out at the Julius Theater in Buckingham? What did y'all do to that theater? Of course, you have to ask for all these levels, but good God Almighty. I mean, you know, also, what did y'all do to it? I think this job might actually be able to take me to the end of my scheduled stream time. Or at least close enough. I think I'm getting hungry. Wash it off, wash it off, wash it off. Make it so clean. I don't know what to do with it, cause it's so clean. What's really beyond the pale? The book we wrote together is left open on a map of the rushless area, and she's drawn a huge X on it. Methinks that they be on to something. Methinks Karen might be on to something, then you just need to follow the breadcrumbs that they found. That they have found. To solve whatever mystery it might be that you have. Mwah. Slap into soup. Ooh yeah, just maybe. Just maybe. Also I'm using soap because in case there's just like rust spots, that's just going to be easier to do than trying to power wash it individually. The red nozzle. Wash. Get rid of soap. Oh, yeah. It's so dirty. It's so rusty. Put it on soap, and then it gets clean. Gotta clean it off. Wash it off the top, yes, it's so dirty, oh my god. Gotta wash it real good, I got another job. What's up? Heard from Lou at the gas station. You're who I need to help make a splash with my motel refurb. I can help with that. Cause if it's dirty, I'll make it clean. Cause I'm just so nice. Clean stuff's nice. Real nice. Soap it on up. Soap it on up. Soap it on up. Soap it on up. Gotta soap it on up. Soap it on up. It's so dirty, so you gotta soap it on up. Soap it on up. Soap it on up. This car should be clean really soon. Don't know why I started singing like that. Oh, wait a minute, I'm denser than Herodotite. Karen set one of her puzzles for me, so I figured, here I come. Karen, ready or not? Ready be radar. Sneak up on dirt. They don't see you coming. Sneak up on dirt. Sneak up on dirt. Sneak it on up. Sneak it on up. lizard poop hole, to be precise, but for some reason or another we gotta wash out that tailpipe. I don't know why. Yes, I hear you, Olive. I'll feed you here momentarily. Sneak. Sneaking along. Run. Okay. Water car wang me. Sprucey, the scar and trail look fantastic, and I benefited from that deep clean just as much as they did. I'm heading off now to see what Karen's up to. Wish me luck. Oh, interesting. Urban Extreme. Washing with style. I want to give the cats a cat table. I want a cat table in real life. I want cat stuff. I'll save up for cat stuff. cat stuff. That could be a cat. What more cat stuff? So, hotel's there, the theater's there. Okay. I am actually gonna call it a stream right there. I'm gonna feed all of. I'm gonna eat dinner, and then I might be on Helldivers later if you want to join me. I'm kind of going back and forth. I might be on Helldivers later. Either way, thanks for hanging out, brother. I'll see if I can figure out why the clear background text wasn't working before tomorrow's stream. Regardless, no matter when I talk to you, I will talk to you later.